Hello everyone and welcome to my bold and the beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please press the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. In Hereafter's occasion, suckers can anticipate Brooke Logan to eventually snap out of feeling sorry for herself. Plus, a couple rejoices at their reunion. Keep reading and let's talk about what's coming up in the coming occasion of the CBS cleaner pieces. Brooke Logan's turnaround. Suckers have watched as Brooke Durability feels sorry for herself and can't feel to get it together. The agonized Golden has been on autopilot, but her passion for life seems gone. Brooke also keeps talking to Ridge Forrester about how they're fated to be together. There's an event that happens in Friday's occasion. This event will get Brooke to snap out of her pity party. Taylor Hayes' assurance. Meanwhile, Taylor Hayes will probably still be with Ridge. Although Taylor plays it off like she's not hovered, if that were true, she wouldn't be reminding Ridge of their love. Another intriguing thing to note is that at the end of Thursday's occasion, Taylor kept trying to kiss Ridge passionately, but he responded with little pecks. Taylor didn't feel to notice, but this addict sure did. Carter Walton's Joy. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Hereafter reveal that one couple will rejoice over their reunion. While Ridge has a lot to suppose about, it's likely not him. At least, not yet. Still, we did just see Hope Logan and Carter Walton reunite. So far, Hope has been trying to explain effects to Carter. Of course, after reuniting with Hope, there was one further thing that Carter demanded to do. While Carter will continue telling Daphne Rose that he's back with Hope, she'll suppose it's a bad idea. Daphne mentioned that Hope is bad for the company. So, it seems Daphne will start conniving to get Hope down from both Carter and Forrester creations. That could crop Daphne and Steffi Forrester Finnegan against each other, which would be intriguing. Ridge Forrester's inner debate back over with Ridge, anticipate him to be in fermentation over his heart. Ridge has heard Katie Logan's words and knows what he feels in his heart. Still, Ridge specifically said he'd not literally break Taylor's heart again. At some point, Ridge wouldn't be suitable to deny his passions presently. So, what's worse, Taylor's pain now, or laterally? Which plot are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, May 23rd, 2025? The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. In Hereafter's occasion, suckers can anticipate Brooke Logan to stop hosting her pity party. Meanwhile, one couple expresses joy over their reunion. Keep reading and let's talk about what's coming up in the coming occasion of the CBS cleaner pieces. Brooke Logan's pity party. Suckers have watched as Brooke is in a long-term pity party. Brooke hasn't been herself since Ridge Forrester rejected her and went back to Taylor Hayes. Brooke's response made sense at the morning, but now it's gone on too long. Thankfully, commodity happens that forces Brooke to snap out of her pity party. Taylor Hayes' Hope. Meanwhile, suckers will see Taylor still talking to Ridge. Taylor will continue expressing her security in the relationship. The fact that Taylor feels the need to keep saying it suggests she's more insecure than she admits. In any case, Taylor will hold on to stopgap that her relationship with Ridge is stable. Still, Taylor might be headed for heartache. Carter Walton's reunion. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Hereafter state that Abrace expresses excitement over their reunion. That must be Carter Walton and Hope Logan. Indeed, though Hope explained everything, Carter has one further task to complete. Carter must meet with Daphne Rose and tell her the verity. Daphne Rose blindsided. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Hereafter reveal that Daphne will be blindsided. Suckers just watched as Carter talked about chancing love again. The nose assumed he meant her and started gushing about her passions for him. That's when Carter was forced to tell her that he meant Hope. Moving forward, Daphne might try to encourage Carter to review. Still, it seems that Carter is in love. Ridge Forrester's turmoil. As for Ridge, suckers can anticipate him to be in a lot of fermentation. Ridge said that he literally broke Taylor's heart and wouldn't do it again. That doesn't sound like a man in love, but a man in thrall. Indeed, though Ridge is determined to keep his word to Taylor, can he really stay down from Brooke? It seems that Ridge is getting further drawn to her. While its egregious ground is going to ultimately reunite, will Taylor find out now or latterly? How important damage will be done this time? Which plot are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, May 23, 2025? At Forrester, Brooke and Hope grasp. Brooke gushes about her son telling her last night that Steffi hired her back. Ridge walks by and Brooke exclaims, "Isn't this awful? Hope got rehired." Ridge didn't indeed know this was being considered and asks, "What changed?" Hope knows it must feel sudden, but she and Steffi decided they had wasted enough time being at odds with one another. Brooke thinks it's inconceivable. Ridge agrees that it's moving in the right direction. Hope says it's not the only relationship she'd like to try to rebuild. Hope tells Ridge that she and Carter went too far. They went about effects entirely awry, and I'm trying to make it right. She's hoping to recapture his trust. Ridge always watched for her and she's been a great asset. He likes her new tone mindfulness. Hope is seeing effects in a different light recently. Ridge muses, so is Steffi, it turns out. Brooke asks if Carter knows she's back at Forrester. Hope says they haven't spoken yet. Brooke urges her to tell him. Hope picks up her phone. Hope reaches out to Carter at Carter's garret. He flashes to Hope telling Liam she wants a future with him. He closes his eyes and snoots. Looking at a print of her on his phone, he flashes back some further and snoots again. Moving to the kitchen, Carter sees Hope is calling and answers. She tells him she has news and wants to talk. He asks her to come to the garret so they can bandy it face to face. Hope says she'll be right over. At Forrester, Hope disconnects and tells Brooke and Ridge it'll be nice to partake some good news for a change. Once she leaves, Brooke and Ridge go over the news of Steffi rehiring Hope. Brooke's relieved their enmity is over. Hope was happy to come into work this morning. She thanks Ridge for his support. He tells her to thank Steffi. She'll do that. He admits he's surprised by this. Why now? Why bury the hatchet now? What happened? Brooke thinks it's miraculous. She suggests they make it a trend and work effects out as well. Brooke Ridge B&B at the Precipice House, Steffi and Finn kiss good morning. He got in after she fell asleep last night. Steffi brings up Liam's reviews and says she's soliciting for good news. Liam walks by and tells her, "Yeah, well, do and stop." She asks him what the croaker said. Liam said the reviews said no change, so no go. It's going to be the death of him. Steffi asks him to stop. He doesn't have to put on a stalwart face. Liam was hoping for a phenomenon, but it doesn't feel it's in the cards. Steffi tells Liam that she spoke to Hope last night. She's enough broken up. Liam complains that he doesn't want them being sad all the time. He worries about doing this to the girls. Steffi assures him they'll get through this. She reveals that she and Hope have renovated effects up grounded on having some effects in common, including their love for him. Liam's overcome. I no way allowed. I would hear you say that. Steffi says they're doing it for him and their little girls. They're determined to end the stupid contest. Liam can't indeed believe it's real. Steffi reiterates that she and Hope want to make peace. They understand what's truly important now and want to make him happy. Liam tells her they're both amazing. He felt responsible for their conflict. Steffi reminds them they're grown-ups. The drama was because of their own choices. They'll work to put it behind them. Steffi says they're trying to produce the kind of relationship Liam wants them to have. They go over Liam spending as important time with his daughters as he can get. Suddenly, Finn gets a textbook and pouts. Steffi asks, "What's it?" Finn says Dr. Buckingham wants to bandy options for Liam. Steffi gasps. Is he saying there's a chance for Liam? At Carter's garret, he flashes to Hope and Liam one further time as she knocks on the door. He opens it and thanks her for coming. Hope's glad he invited her. He blurts, "You have news?" Hope tells him she's back at Forrester. Stunned, he asks, "You're back?" Hope says she and Steffi had an awful discussion and decided to support each other. Carter's surprised but happy for her. He asks what happened. She says it was a change in perspective. Life can be short and changeable. Why waste time? Commodity Liam reminded us of. Carter's face falls as he realizes Liam got them to make effects right. Is that each you want to partake, Hope? He wonders if there's anything she wants to tell him regarding Liam. Carter Hope BNB Hope asks Carter if he's heard commodity. She doesn't know what to say. Carter tells Hope that Daphne advised him that she'd break his heart, that he was a diversion and she'll end up back with Liam. Hope stammers as he continues that he explains he went back to her mama's to see her history. She suppositions she missed him. Carter says, "You were there. You were busy with Liam." Hope nods, "You saw us." Carter eavesdropped everything she said to him, how important she wants to be there for him. That he's the man for you. Hope shakes her head. Carter he smothers that Daphne was right. I'm a fool. Hope tells him he's not a fool. You're amazing and I've missed you so much. She's abominated being piecemeal from him. Carter, it's you. You're the man I want to be with. Carter wears a nonplussed expression on his face as Hope throws her arms around him. Carter Hope BNB. On a sunny yet emotionally stormy Friday, May 23, 2025, the sprawling drama of The Bold and the Beautiful exploded with tangled hearts, reversals of fortune, and the sharp snap of long-suppressed truths finally piercing the carefully curated calm of Los Angeles' most famous fashion family, the Forresters. At the epicenter of the unraveling stood Brooke Logan, who for weeks had been drifting through life like a hollowed-out shell of herself, clinging to the ghosts of a love she swore was written in the stars. Her usually luminous spirit had dulled under the weight of rejection and regret, having watched Ridge Forrester slide right back into Taylor Hayes' arms, a move she viewed less as passion and more as penance, his guilt driving him more than his desire. But on this fateful day, something inside Brooke shifted like the tectonic plates beneath the city. It wasn't an epiphany so much as a rebellion against the numbing pain that had paralyzed her. No more staring into her wine glass while reliving old memories like a reel of romantic misfires. No more self-flagellation. No more asking Ridge to remember their destiny. She was done with that story. What triggered her transformation wasn't a pep talk, but rather seeing her daughter, Hope Logan, embrace grace and humility as she reconciled with Steffi Forrester, the very woman who had been her professional and personal rival for what seemed like decades. In a moment thick with emotion at Forrester Creations, Hope and Brooke embraced in a rare, tender scene that hadn't been seen in a long time, and for the first time in weeks, Brooke felt something other than despair. She felt inspired. Meanwhile, Ridge was caught in a cyclone of his own making, torn between loyalty to Taylor and the undeniable gravitational pull Brooke still held over him. Though Taylor kept planting kisses like flags marking her territory, Ridge returned them with the lifelessness of a man stuck in a promise he wasn't sure he should have made. His heart thudded in confusion as he watched Brooke radiate newfound strength, the very trait that had first made him fall for her, and he wondered if he'd shackled himself to the wrong woman for the right reasons. Taylor, ever intuitive, sensed the shift. Her reassurances to Ridge grew more frequent, more frantic, a clear indication that her certainty was feigned, her security crumbling with each passing glance Ridge threw toward Brooke. But she wasn't the only one dealing with rising insecurities. Across town, Carter Walton opened his loft door to find Hope standing there, beautiful and nervous, ready to drop a bombshell. Fresh from her emotional reunion with Steffi, Hope had come to tell him she was back at Forrester, back where she belonged, and, if her heart could be trusted, back with the man she wanted to share that space with, Carter. But Carter's heart had been scorched by doubt and confusion, most of it planted by Daphne Rose, who had made it clear that she believed Hope was a ticking heartbreak time bomb. As Hope smiled and shared the good news, Carter's eyes darkened with memories of overhearing her heart-wrenching conversation with Liam Spencer. He had heard her words, that Liam was the man for her, that she needed to be there for him, and it gutted him. Hope, caught off guard, stammered, realizing that Carter had been wounded more deeply than she'd anticipated. Daphne's warning had struck a chord, and Carter accused Hope of keeping him on a string, a rebound to the man she couldn't let go of. But Hope, eyes glassy with regret, stepped forward and told Carter the words he never thought he'd hear again, that it was him she wanted. That being away from him had hurt more than she'd let on. That Liam's presence had confused her, but Carter's absence had broken her. She wrapped her arms around him as he stood frozen, caught between longing and disbelief. And somewhere in the shadows of Carter's heart, a flicker of hope, no pun intended, ignited again. Back at Forrester, Ridge and Brooke found themselves in a strangely intimate conversation about forgiveness and moving on. She was radiant, glowing with clarity and self-acceptance, and it rattled him. "Why now?" he asked, referring to Steffi and Hope's reconciliation. "Why bury the hatchet now?" Brooke, ever the sage when it came to emotional rebirths, smiled and said, "Because life is short, Ridge. And sometimes, we waste so much time on pride that we miss the chance to heal." Ridge stared at her a beat too long, his silence saying more than any words ever could. Meanwhile, at the Cliff House, Steffi and Finn were enjoying a quiet morning, exchanging sleepy kisses and reassurances about Liam's latest medical scans, which had shown no change. The weight of Liam's situation hung heavily in the air, with Steffi doing her best to keep optimism alive while Liam, now facing permanent challenges, struggled with the guilt of not being able to provide the same kind of physical presence for his daughters. But in a rare moment of unity, Steffi revealed to Liam that she and Hope had put aside their rivalry for the sake of their children, and, to some extent, for him. Liam, floored by the admission, could barely speak as emotion choked him. For the first time, the women in his life were united, not over him, but because of their shared understanding of what really mattered. Then, just as the moment settled, Finn's phone buzzed with a message from Dr. Buckingham. "There might be options for Liam," he announced. Hope crackled in the air as Steffi gasped, could there be a breakthrough on the horizon? Back at Carter's place, Hope was still standing close to him, her eyes locked on his. "Carter, it's you. You're the man I want to be with," she said. Her voice didn't tremble with hesitation this time. It was full of conviction. Carter's lips parted, but he didn't speak. He couldn't. Not yet. Because while he had wanted this moment, he didn't know if it was real or just another illusion. But then he looked into her eyes, really looked, and saw not the conflicted girl from before, but a woman who knew what she wanted. And for now, that was enough. But the storm clouds were far from gone. Daphne Rose was not the type to lose gracefully, and her disdain for Hope's influence over Carter and Forrester Creations meant she wasn't going to slink away quietly. With her ego bruised and her ambitions at risk, Daphne's next move could turn this reunion into a battleground. And if Steffi took Hope's side again, the office politics could ignite a war that would make Brooke versus Taylor look like a schoolyard spat. So as Friday's episode drew to a close, every character stood at a precipice. Brooke, reborn but still vulnerable. Ridge, torn between loyalty and love. Taylor, desperately clutching a man whose heart was slipping away. Hope, recommitting to Carter while haunted by Liam's pain. Carter, teetering between trust and fear. Liam, a man with nothing left but hope. And Daphne, watching it all from the shadows, already plotting her next chess move. The sunset over Los Angeles, golden and deceptively calm, the kind of sunset that only the bold and the beautiful could deliver, right before the next storm.